Every 3 years, the best sailors on the planet compete in the world's toughest offshore challenge, the Volvo Ocean Race.
1, 2, go!
Stench.
For the 12th edition, 7 teams left Alicante, Spain, to cross 4 oceans and 5 continents over 9 months. It is the ultimate endurance test that all professional sailors dream of doing.
It's just relentless.
With a fleet solely composed of the Volvo Ocean 65, a boat designed to take on the most grueling offshore race. Crews are pushed to the limit in a competition that has never been closer. Battling 24/7, fighting storms, and defying the worst that Mother Nature can throw at them.
You get a beating out there.
Pushing the crews to a place where there is only a thin margin between winning the leg
Nice, very nice.
or losing it all.
Holy shit, I can't believe this. I can't actually believe this happening.
This is their story. The Volvo Ocean Race fleet is in Newport, USA, gearing up for leg 7 across the Atlantic to Portugal. While the sailors and shore crew are busy with boat preparations, the Stopover becomes a festival for enthusiastic race fans. In this American town, famous for its love of sailing. For race chief Knut Frostad, this busy stopover is a good time to share his thoughts on how the round-the-world marathon is going.
What makes Volvo Ocean Race special is to experience the racing. It's to experience the sailors, it's to get on board the boats, it's to get close to something that is so different than anything else you can experience.
It's been an interesting stopover for us, Newport, because it's, I would say, it's the most successful North American stopover we've had ever. And it's not necessarily because of the pure numbers, it's because of the passion. What makes it very satisfying for me in this race is that I also know where we came from. And it's easy to forget. I mean, today the world is looking a lot better than it did 3 years ago, you know, but when we finished the last race, you know, I was sitting in my office in Spain and scratching my head and thinking, how the hell are we going to get through this? And a lot of our sponsors had financial struggles and they stopped basically participating. I feel like we came out of a big storm, you know, in good shape.
As the boats now aim for Europe and the finish in Sweden, thoughts are already turning to the next edition.
And the main messages from my side is we're not going to change much. You know, and it's not because we are necessarily super successful, but you know, we don't want to change now. We really want to keep it as much as the same as possible. There will always be an evolution of the route. There will always be some evolution of the boat, and obviously we're going to work a bit on the environmental side. We have some interesting plans there on renewable energy on the boats to try to basically be 100% zero emission next time. Then I think we're going to have a natural evolution in some of the technology, and then we're going to build some new boats.
We think that a good fleet in the race is somewhere between 8 and 10 boats. That's what we think, that's what we want, and that's what we're aiming for.
I think that we're going to do some very cool things with cameras in the future. There's some of these new things that actually works better with us than anyone else. And I spoke to these guys and they've done a Formula 1 car and they've done all other things, but you know, on board a boat, when you have that 360 experience, it's just incredible. That's why sailing is so unique. When you get on board a boat and you have that wow, full, you know, HD 360 experience in live, you go like, wow, this is amazing. And now we can soon start to transmit that. And I think we will have some fantastic racing, you know, in the last legs now. This race will never, ever be what you think it's going to be. Ever, never. Because Mother Nature is playing the game with us all the time. So now everyone thinks this is going to be the finishing order or whatever. And we will be sitting in Gothenburg and saying, did we expect that to happen? No. Something is going to happen in every leg from now to the end of the race.
Talking viewers through the live action during the in-port race is Ken Reed, skipper of Puma in the 2008 edition. Ken will be commentating aboard Team Brunel during the Leg 7 start.
I mean, look at this view. How great is this for Newport? This is the best sailors in the world in these really high-powered boats.
Well, the TV side of it was fun, and it started with the America's Cup, and I got pulled in as a rookie. Fortunately, Niall does a really nice job of kind of running the show, and really all I have to do is sit there and speak when spoken to. And I enjoy that kind of color commentary aspect of it. You try to keep things light and try to give a picture to maybe average fans or even non-sailors as to what's really going out on the race course and what's going on in the minds of these guys on the race course.
The Volvo race has been my life for the last 7 years, and it's just great to not be having to talk about it anymore. People get to see it, and it's really it's near to my heart, and I'm glad it's going to become even more important to everybody around here.
Somehow through charity, Save the Sea and Brunel somehow coaxed a whole bunch of people to figure out how to get me to jump off of the back of Brunel. Remember, it's 50 degrees Fahrenheit of water temperature out there, so it's still really cold. So yes, I'm going to be suffering, people. You need to feel sorry for me. But yeah, I'm going to be a jumper, and for the first time ever, I'm going to start a race and actually not finish it. Yeah, I know there's a style of jumping off. I'm sure we'll come up with some creative ways of making my leap off the back of the boat something that people can remember.
While Ken is jumping off, some crew are jumping on. Top French sailor Sidney Gavinier, a full-time veteran of this oceanic marathon, joins Dong Fong for the tough Atlantic leg ahead.
My goal is really to fit in as much as possible, and also to bring some fresh blood because people are tired. I think it's on all the boats. This Volvo Ocean Race is really hard. Trying to bring my own motivation or freshness. I don't know if it exists, and it sounds a bit funny when I'm probably the oldest on board, but I'm quite happy to bring young blood being an old experienced guy.
And it's not just the new guy that is excited to get things going.
I feel good, I think. Honestly, I have a good feeling. Charles doesn't have any pressure. Only making things well, and we do our own job, and things will be just fine.
We were not supposed to be so good at the beginning of the project. Nobody expected us to be on the podium, and today we are second with a big advance on the third, and we were ahead of the race before we break the mast. So I think we can be happy about what we have achieved right now.
This is my speech. For the first time I prepare something on paper. Very important speech today. For the first time. Okay, no, let's start from the start. I think it was a good stopover, short one, but a good one.
We are fighting to win, but we're also fighting for this team to continue after this Volvo Ocean Race, and the best way to motivate your sponsor is to have a nice finish, and so things can change very quickly.
I'd like also take the time to welcome Sydney in our team for this short period of time.
So maybe Bruno, maybe I can interrupt your speech. I feel very lucky to be in that race. I feel very lucky to be in that team with a very, I call it a simple spirit, which is very positive. And yeah, we're looking forward for this leg. Thank you.
I think Abu Dhabi is more concerned about themselves. I think, like he said, Jan Walker says, the big danger is themselves. They are in a very good position. They can't lose the race except they make big mistake or very bad result.
There is 30% of our point still need to be allocated. 30%. So we only did two-thirds of the race. So think about that. So when I hear that Abu Dhabi should lose his mast for us to win, this is for me, 30%, we can win that on the water without having the problem with the other ones. And I'm sure it will be just fine. And we'll be very happy in Gothenburg. Is it okay? Okay.
I mean, Newport's great. I've already booked my summer holiday here with my family. I'm sorry they couldn't be here. We've had a great time, great weather, great enthusiastic support, fantastic volunteers.
So I'm glad the new fans are here. It's the warm-up for Lisbon, which I thought it's going to be huge, and lots of people there to support the team and support myself, so I cannot be happy, no?
We are the most cheerless fans in the world.
You're going to be shocked. You might want to turn the volume down a little bit because we don't want to break the eardrums of the listeners.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a great stopover. Everybody's been absolutely awesome. It feels a little tough to leave, but we got a race to be in here, and it'll be nice to maybe get some sleep on the boat.
Looking forward to going back to Europe and back in the Atlantic, the ocean I know, so that's a good thing. Yeah, it's going to be nice to get back to Europe after a long time and a lot of miles.
Slow half a leg.
I have to admit, I never thought in a million years I would be. I really thought I could just have fun with this whole thing, but I kind of want to go. It looks like it's going to be a nice leg. It's tactical, hard. Looks like a Volvo leg. And yeah, so I guess a part of me is a little bummed out that I'm going to have to go swimming today. Yep, going to go. Leon? Go for a so, luck. All right. Thanks, boys. Good luck, you guys. Have fun, man. Thanks. It's hard to be a spectator, I'll tell you that.
Leaving Newport, the Volvo Ocean 65s begin to stretch their legs at sea. But crossing shipping lanes becomes an issue.
They're all going the wrong way up the shipping channel there.
So they've sailed through the opposing lane and then into the exclusion zone. There's no way they can not get penalised for that. There's a number of areas that are exclusion zones in the sailing instructions, and they cover these TSS zones that we're not. They put the exclusion zones in just so, to protect ourselves from ourselves really, and make sure we don't sail down the wrong way in a traffic lane or something like that. Half the fleet have used the lane, but they're going the wrong way down it, so there could be some action to come in the future.
No, thank you. There's 3 boats out of 6 that have sailed the course correctly, and 3 have gone into prohibited areas. And we're just behind Alva Medica.
You're any higher, you're in it. We're going exactly where we want to go, but there's a big traffic separation scheme in front of us that we're not allowed to go in, so it's like a brick wall. This here, I don't know if you can see it, that's a traffic separation scheme. This is the one that's blocked out, but we actually, this is the way to go south. We're totally prohibited from going into the lane going north. If we're in the other lane, we have to be going south. If we end up going north in it, we've broken the rules, and there will be, it'll just be a chaos.
So at the moment it's been interesting because some people have already broken a couple of rules. We've lost a little bit to keep our nose clean. Something's going to happen here, I'm not sure what.
Abu Dhabi are more annoyed when they claim their closest rivals Dongfeng have infringed the rules again.
We're trying to avoid the TSS zone and one boat went straight through it. So we were sort of holding high up to this corner and then bore away, whereas Dongfeng just sailed straight through the TSS lane and out the other side. This purple bit you can see here, and yeah, it's forbidden to sail through it eastbound, which one of the boats did.
Dongfeng have definitely infringed the rules on 2 occasions in terms of sailing the wrong way in a traffic separation zone. We lost a lot of miles doing the right thing, so it's out of our hands. We'll put it behind us, and now we just concentrate on trying to overtake them, get those lost miles back, and carry on with the race.
If racing or maritime rules have been broken, the race committee has the option of calling on an international jury to decide on any disputes during the Lisbon stopover. While Abu Dhabi and Dongfeng continue to battle it out on the ocean, on shore, their bosses share their views on the sporting rivalry.
And in our team, we're just trying to keep everything drama-free, low stress, you know, just be workmanlike and professional and go about it. And sometimes that comes across as a bit sort of plain and bland. I've seen some of the emails that Charles and Ian have been sending to each other between the boats, and look at there, there's been some banter between them. So it's not all knives at dawn. But I think the two teams are actually behind it. I think they're both not that far apart in terms of, you know, their attitude to what they're doing.
I would say that the Abu Dhabi team is a model for everybody because they're all good professional people, and Ian is an example. He has done this race and he had misfortune, and he has been, you know, through a lot of emotions over all these years, and he deserved to win this race, honestly.
I guess it's our, obviously it's a return for us, having done the race the last time, and I think we didn't really achieve what we wanted to achieve from a performance point of view the last time. And the main aim of re-entering the race was, I think, to try and not only get on the podium, but to try and get on the top of the podium. I think that's been the focus since the start of this edition.
I think Charles is doing his own race. But I think he's like Jan, he's boiling inside sometimes, and he's pushing. And as a sign of a pure, real competitor. He's not here for cruising, but just to sail around the world.
Well, I don't want to talk about cliches, but there's an Englishman and a Frenchman, right? It sounds like the start of a joke. I think behind that mask and behind that perception, they're not actually that different. I think, you know, we've seen you've seen Charles smashing the steering pedestal and being anxious, and I think, you know, there's a lot of Ian and Charles, and there's some of Charles in Ian as well.
Winning in Sanya has never been an objective. For me, the race could have stopped there. The sponsors were super happy, it was fine. And now we have to continue on that. We said at that time that we could win this race. We have everything to win it.
Our whole approach to the race has been pretty risk averse. And that's going to continue, you know, certainly until we get to Lisbon. All we're now looking at is the transatlantic leg. That's our main focus, because that's the race for us now. And then we'll get to Lisbon and we'll see what the leaderboard looks like there. And then we'll maybe alter our strategy, or we'll keep it the same. But for now, it's a focus on, you know, getting to Lisbon in a podium position.
Out in the Atlantic, the crews are back in their racing element, the deep ocean.
Day 3 of leg 7, and it's always good to be back on the racetrack because this is what we want to do. And it's even better when you can see all the competition around you. So the focus is right there. We're trying our best. The conditions are really shifty and really difficult, but we know that they're in exactly the same conditions as us, so it makes us feel better.
No, it's cool. It's cool because we see that people are used to be surrounded with other boats. So it's not a stress, it's more good fun to make the clock turn quickly. So it is enjoyable, it's nice to have people around.
While Sydney enjoys having boats within sight on deck, down below, the picture is not so cheerful.
We had a very, very bad and difficult last 4 hours with the wind very light and very up and down, right and left. So it was lots of trim and lots of activity on deck. So I think we will have a long, long night.
Working on deck during the night presents challenges to the sailors.
The difference between daytime and nighttime sailing is, firstly, you can see I'm eating in the dark.
Yeah, we're not stopping at all nighttime. We run our watch system 24 on 24, and yeah, so even if it's night or day, you gotta keep going, keep working on deck.
At the moment it's very dark, there's not a lot of moon. Sometimes there's not a lot of difference when there's a big moon out, but you know, we can't see the puff setter coming. It's probably the biggest difference. You don't really know what's coming and you're more reactive as opposed to proactive. And you become a little obsessed with numbers, so we've got these little red numbers up there on the mast telling us the wind angles and our heading and stuff like that. So become a little crazy at night and focus on numbers. So.
Just telling the driver where he's at, because during the day he can see the willies, and at night time he can't, and sometimes you can get a little bit lost if there's no horizon or any stars to get a reference off.
A situation develops in the pitch black.
Okay, are we happy?
Not yet happy.
You're not happy about Abu Dhabi?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Have you guys seen a torch or anything that gives you confidence? Yeah, AIS is not. What's that? I do not think we're crossing right now. Well, I don't know.
I think we're crossing.
Abu Dhabi is crossing Alvin Medica's bow, and Charlie Enright and crew take action to avoid a collision.
All right, guys. Tacking here, guys, in 3, 2, 1, tacking.
The boats pass close enough for the crew to hear Ian Walker calling over from on board Abu Dhabi.
Really close, guys. Hey! Hey! Hey, we're good. All good. Yep.
Yeah, port starboard with Abu Dhabi, upwind in the fog. Just off of Martha's Vineyard. Probably crossing by less than a boat length. Pretty scary stuff. You can't see 300 meters in front of you right now. Back into the night.
From the dark tensions on the ocean, Team Vestas Wind are beginning to see the light. They're taking a big step forward on their long, hard road to rejoin the race.
It's still a race against the clock. The reality of it is we've turned the race into what was a construction and rebuild race into now it's a logistical race. Obviously, the last 5 months have been incredibly busy and incredibly productive. To think what trucked up here the night of the 29th from Genoa to what's about to truck out of here, heading down to Savona to do what we need to do logistically to get on a ship to Lisbon. It's been a monumental task. It's been fantastic.
It's been a busy morning here at the boatyard in the Italian Alps. Basically, we're just getting the boat on the truck now so we can get it to Lisbon. So we're doing it nice and slow and making sure nothing goes wrong and checking all the systems at the same time.
It's good to be on the move. Everything in the last couple of days, still been work going on, but now we're getting out of here. It's the right time, and we're 1 day in front of schedule, and hopefully we have a faster shipping time, which might actually mean 1 or 2 extra days on the water before our start in Lisbon. So it's all good.
But there's no doubt it's going to be worth it all. To see that boat start in Lisbon and hoist the sails again, it's going to be worth it all, and I'm sure everyone's going to be quite proud to see the moment where we dug out and actually did make the comeback in the race.
Next week, Team Brunel blasts off.
In a matter of hours, we all separated by a long way, and now the Skeds come in, and Brunel are 22 miles ahead.
We remember Hans Horowitz.
Just got one of those freak waves that we surfed down, the boat rolled into windward, and washed him off the side of the boat.
And the fleet negotiates the Azores High, blocking their path to Lisbon.